Welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be trying to look and feel more human. I haven't put makeup on in over a week. I'm going to be a little bit of a story time and going through my experience with you all with coronavirus. Finally got me. So I'm going to do a full face. Again, I haven't done makeup in over a week. I am towards the tail end of this virus, and it's been a rough, rocky week, okay? We'll start from the beginning and I'll work my way forward. So just bear with me. I'm still a little bit phlegmy, tired, a little out of it. So you'll have to forgive me if this video is a little all over the place, or if I don't sound the same, if I sound a little weird. That's why I have not filmed a video since... I haven't filmed a video since the last video that I uploaded, so I haven't had the energy to do anything other than sleep. So I wanted to hop on here today. I wanted to do a Shop My Stash style of video to pick out some products to apply to the face to try to feel a little bit more human. This eye is starting to turn red and goopy. I think I'm getting pink eye, because, you know, why not? Add one more thing onto the plate, right? And I know that if I wait, that I'm not going to be able to film it all for the next few days because my eye is going to be completely wrecked. I'm pretty sure it's pink eye. So I'll be very careful today to use separate products or separate applicators around this eye as opposed to this eye so I don't spread it. But we're just, you know, this is the Hot Mess Express today. I just wanted to hop on here and film a video, try to pep myself up a little bit, get in better spirits, and yeah, talk to you guys about my experience with this stupid ass virus. So if that sounds interesting to you, you guys want to hear this story time, watch me apply a full face, watch me go from busted to not sure yet. I'll let you know at the end of the video. If that sounds interesting to you, please be sure to stick around. If you're just now making it to my channel and you're not already subscribed, but you like makeup and beauty content, Shop My Stash, reviews, first impressions, empties. We do all kinds of things over here on my channel. If you like that sort of thing, tap that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell so you don't miss future uploads. Let's get into this video. All right, I'm going to do a mixture of glowy and matte just because my skin looks like absolute trash right now. And I need something a little bit lively. Let's grab Wander Beauty. Let's grab the NARS... What is this one called? I just looked at it and I already forgot. Soft Matte Complete. Whoops, foundation. Let's also grab Charlotte. This is hard to do. Airbrush Flawless. Let's grab the NARS Radiant. And I'm also going to grab Physicians Formula the Healthy Foundation. This is such a good foundation. Let's do that. That's going to be our little lineup. Okay, moving into the primer drawer. You all know, look at this. Oh my goodness, I forgot I had so many backups. This is the real deal right here if you have oily skin. Yeah, that ought to tell you something. Today we're not going to use that just because it's what I always use. Typically when I'm shopping my stash, I go for something else. So tired. Okay, I think for this video, I'm going to use the Becca, which one is this? Like the Backlight Priming Filter? First Light Priming Filter. I'm going to use this one just because, again, my face is going through it right now, and this kind of helps neutralize stuff, I think. So we're going to pull that one. Moving down into the concealer drawer. Can you tell that I get backups of stuff that I like? Jeez Louise. What do I want to use to make me feel better today? I don't think I've showcased this yet on my channel. This is the new Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer. I've had it for like a month or so. I just haven't had the opportunity to film with it yet. So let's grab that. It is probably like my skin tone. It's the perfect tone for me. And I typically like something brightening. So let's pull in something to go with it. That's a little lighter. I've been using the crap out of the NARS, what is this? The Radiant Creamy Concealer or something like that. This is such a fantastic concealer. But we're going to pull something different to mix it with. Let's also pull the Hourglass concealer. I don't use this enough. It's a little bit drying. Hopefully if I mix it in with the Anastasia concealer, it'll balance out. Always got to pull my Becca under eye corrector. Duh. Let's also pull my NARS Soft Matte Concealer. This is going to help with spot concealing. I got a lot going on. And moving down into my powder drawer. All I really use on a day-to-day basis is my Huda Beauty powder. I use the crap out of this powder. It is just so good, and it helps to really lock my makeup in all day. So let's try to pull something different. It's hard. My first instinct is just to go to this powder. My brain doesn't even have the capacity to make decisions right now. Oh, Lord have mercy. You know what? I'm actually going to pull my number 7 Lift and Illuminate powder. This is such a great powder. Let's pull that one. Moving down into my bronzers and contours. My first instinct is to pull the contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury. This is such a fantastic contour product. Oh my god, I love it. It also doubles as a bronzer for me. But I'm going to pull the new Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm face palette. Have I featured this yet? I don't know if I have. But we're going to go ahead and pull it. I kind of want to pull this anyway. I can't help it. Look, I'm trying to have a good makeup day, okay? I need something to pep me up a little bit, make me feel better. Hey, we have last year's Pat palette, her holiday palette. We got this year's holiday palette. I already did a first impression and 2 looks with this one. If you're interested, I'll link it above. Go check her out. Okay, so I was originally going to use the Beauty Bay Wilderness, but I just... I'm not really feeling the really bright colors today. I want to do something a little bit more neutral and a little bit more, I don't want to say toned down, but yeah, I'm not really feeling like bright blue, red, whatever, green. So I think what I want to do, this palette here, I have not featured yet on my channel. This one is from Vanity Makeup. Vanity Makeup is actually an Instagram account, and I believe she has a YouTube. Don't quote me, but she started her own makeup line, and this is her signature palette, and it is beautiful. This was a rather pricey palette. I know a lot of people kind of scoffed at it because of that. It's kind of, if you look at the packaging, it resembles Pat. The packaging isn't quite as hefty. It's a little bit, I don't want to say cheaper, but it is a little cheaper. It's also not quite as pricey as Pat, but the quality of the shadows are really, really good. I've played with it twice now, and I really liked both looks, so I'm going to go ahead and play with this in this video. Why not? Let's come up with like a little glam neutral moment. Okay, knowing what we're putting on the eyeballs, now I can pick out highlighter and blush. Why don't we do Dior? Maybe. We'll pull this one. We'll pull one more just in case that's not what I'm looking for. I really like this one here from Laura Mercier. It's super understated. Actually, when you look at it, it almost just looks like it's a powder. Let's pull this one. I don't even know if I've ever used this one. I feel like I got that in... Did I get it in a BoxyCharm? Ipsy? I'm not sure. I think it was BoxyCharm. Let's travel back this way to blushes. A lot of the time I like to pick blush palettes because I have a lot of those as well. But let's go for a single today, shall we? I mean, I gotta do something with this at some point in the future. So many good ones, I can't help it. I might pull this one from M Cosmetics. It's the Magic Hour Blush, their Heaven's Glow. It's just a really beautiful... like a baked blush. Got a nice little glow. Let's pull that one. We might layer up on the blush. Why not? I like my bright blushes. My pinks and my reds. They're just so pretty. Let's just stick with that one for now. If I want to grab something else, I can. Oh, come back, Burt's Bees. Oh my god. Okay, so I took you all through my collection. We picked out all these products. Now it's time to apply. Let's take the Becca First Light Priming Filter all over the face. Gonna give her a good shake. It's been a while. And we'll get to talking here. Fun fact, can't smell anything. I don't know why I was smelling that. So I just want to say before I start this, before I start talking about everything, I'm not making light of the situation. I'm not mocking anything. I know there's been a lot of people that have had negative, how do I want to put it, negative experiences because of this virus. They've lost family members, friends, and I'm not trying to detract from that at all. I'm just coming on here to share my experience with you all and what it's been like for me and my family, in case anybody cares. I just wanted to put that out there. Please don't take this as me mocking it or trying to make light of the situation or whatever, because I know a lot of people have been negatively affected by this virus. I don't think that helped. I think that made it worse. Yeah, this eye's definitely got something going on. Like, it just figures. Okay, the very first thing that I'm going to do before we go in with the foundation is my Becca Under Eye Corrector. I have mine in the shade light to medium, and it is a fantastic product, and I can't live without it. So let's do that first, and then we will spot conceal. So, where do I begin? Like I said, I'm still sick. I guess I shouldn't have used this on this eye, huh? Shat. Oh well, we'll use something on the other eye. So, what is today? Today is Tuesday, I think. Last weekend, I just remember feeling really tired, and my daughter was also sick. And, we thought it was a cold, you know, didn't really think a whole lot of it. And, I was off, and it was a Sunday, and I just remember feeling completely wiped out, like totally wiped out, drained. But at that point in time, that was really all I was feeling. I wasn't coughing. I didn't have any sore throat. I didn't have any runny nose. It was nothing like that. I was just totally wiped. Like, I felt like I could sleep all day long. And my daughter was also sick. So what I did, because I thought I was being smart, I decided to take her to get a COVID test. And I figured if it's negative, then obviously that's not what I have going on, right? Because if, you know, she's coughing and hacking and has a sore throat and she's negative, then I'm just a little tired, you know, feel a little off. I'm sure mine, you know, I'm sure I'm fine. I'm sure it's just nothing, right? That was my logic. That was my train of thought. So I took her and got a rapid test, and her test was negative. And I was like, yep, I knew it. It's not COVID, you know, it's just a cold. And again, this was on Sunday. So I was supposed to work the next day. I was supposed to go to work on Monday. Well, Monday rolled around. My daughter's still not feeling better, so I kept her home from school. And I felt terrible. So by this point, my throat was really sore, or had started to get sore, I think. Like I said, all my days are kind of running together. So if the timeline is a little jacked, you'll have to forgive me. I'm just going to try to go through my experience with you all. Look at the dew. I don't know how I feel about that. That's a lot. It's that primer, I think. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and start spot concealing. Shoo, that's a lot. So my daughter had a rapid test and it came back negative, but I made them send it out anyway to like a lab just because I wanted to be certain. So we knew we weren't going to get the like actual results for a few days. Well, again, Monday rolled around and I was just feeling like an absolute shit sandwich. Like, I felt terrible. So, you know, I tried to be responsible, was trying to do the right thing. I reached out to my work and I was like, look, there's just no way. There's no way I'm going to be able to make it in. You know, my daughter's really sick. I'm really sick. I can't come into work feeling like this. Because not only did I feel horrible, but, you know, trying to be responsible and do the right thing by not going to work when you feel like trash is the right thing to do. And my job takes that very seriously because, you know, we deal with the public, and we come into contact with a lot of people on an everyday basis, and they just take it very serious. If you're sick, you are expected to stay home. Like, that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I stayed home on Monday. Well, by the end of Monday, I'm trying to remember the timeline here. My throat was so sore by the end of Monday going into Tuesday. I couldn't hardly swallow. Like, I could, but it was so painful. I wanted to cry every time I swallowed my own saliva. It was awful. I couldn't drink anything. Like, drinking water made me want to die because it was so sore to swallow anything. I love spot concealing with this NARS, by the way. It is so fantastic. I have so much going on. I was kind of convinced at this point that I had strep because of how sore my throat was. And I was taking... Oh, and I had a low-grade fever. Forgot to mention that. Or it could have been a higher fever. I don't know, because I was eating so much Tylenol and ibuprofen. It's hard to say how high my fever would have been without that. But I was trying to mitigate the pain in my throat, and I thought that by taking ibuprofen, it would help the swelling, and it would help how sore my throat was. It literally did nothing. It did absolutely zero. Did nothing. Which is unusual, because typically when I'm sick and I have a sore throat, if nothing else, ibuprofen will help a little bit with the swelling, and it just helps a little bit. This did nothing. Let's just move it along, okay? Let's get to the foundation portion real quick. So anyway, as of Tuesday night, my throat was so sore, I couldn't barely swallow. It hurt to breathe. It hurt to move my head. My neck was also really stiff and really sore. And I just felt like I was completely exhausted, like I had zero energy. So Tuesday rolled around, and I could barely get out of bed. My body was hurting, again with the sore throat. I had gotten some cough drops, and was again eating Tylenol and ibuprofen, and nothing was helping. The cough drops helped like 0.5%. Helped to kind of like moisten my the back of my throat, but that was about it. Other than that, nothing was alleviating the discomfort that I was feeling. I don't typically use this brush for foundation. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking, but here we go. Too late now. I knew at this point that I couldn't put it off anymore. I had to go get tested. Even though I was convinced it was strep, I was going to be out of work for at least another day or so because I felt so bad. So I was like, I need to go get tested at least. That way I can show that I'm actually sick, and, that way I have a doctor's note and whatever. But I wanted to get tested for strep and for COVID. So I went through, my general practitioner. They had like a drive-up thing outside to go get tested, and I thought it was a rapid test for both, for COVID and for strep, but it wasn't. It was a rapid for strep, but the COVID test was going to take time for it to come back. So I didn't know that till after I had the test done. So anyway, I don't know if I like this brush. It's making the application a little bit heavy. It sure is blanking everything out. I kind of like that. It's going to be a little heavy though. So anyway, I go to the doctor. I pull up to this little like carport looking thing basically, and that's how they're testing everybody. Well, that's how they were testing the drive up anyway. So they come out and they swab the back of my throat for the strep test. And then they do the nose swab, which they didn't go like all the way back up into my brain like they do with everybody else. You hear people say they swab like all the way to the back of their throat. Through their nose into their throat. They didn't really do that for me. They just did up. They were pretty far up there. Don't get me wrong. And it was very uncomfortable, but I think I was so uncomfortable to begin with because my throat was so freaking sore that it didn't really matter at that point. It didn't really matter how far they went up my nose because anything was a welcome distraction from the pain I felt in my throat. So by this point, I had what looked like blisters in the back of my throat, which is why, again, it's why I thought I had strep. And I told them when they swabbed, please be careful not to pop one of those blisters because it's so painful. So the person that did my swab did a really good job. They didn't, they were very considerate of the fact that I was in a lot of pain, and they just did a good job. So I got swabbed. It was an immediate strep test. They told me I did not have strep, but it was going to take a few days for me to get my COVID test back. So because I got COVID tested, I had to quarantine at least until I got my results back, or until I was symptom free. So that was Tuesday. Sunday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night, I had to sleep sitting up. Could not lay down because my throat was so sore, and I just felt like there was a lot of pressure in my chest. Like, I don't want to say it was hard to breathe, but there was just a lot of pressure. I didn't have any coughing. Well, that's a lie. The only time I coughed was when you know what? Now that I think about it, see, I'm losing time here. All my days are just running together. The first 2 days I coughed a little bit. That's right, I did. And I remember that because I had to call into work to help somebody through an issue. And I remember talking to them on the phone, and I could barely talk without coughing through talking to them. I forgot about that. So the first couple of days I was coughing a little bit. Just mainly when I tried to talk. Or I don't know how else to explain it. But it wasn't like a consistent coughing thing. Just like when I was trying to talk and stuff. And I'm going to be jumping all over the place because I can't think straight still. So Wednesday rolls around and I'm still feeling the same. Very sore throat, hurts to swallow, hurts to just exist. Okay, I can barely eat anything because I can't swallow anything. Again, by this point, I think by Wednesday I wasn't really coughing that much anymore, only when I would try to talk and stuff. More so than anything, it was just being extremely tired and having that sore throat and just feeling like absolute garbage. Now, mind you, while this is happening, my daughter is sick, then my son gets sick, my oldest son. My middle son, actually, we sent him to go stay with he wanted to go stay with his dad, and I made him stay there because he wasn't sick and he wasn't showing any symptoms. So he ended up having to quarantine at his dad's. He's still there. So me and my oldest son and then my daughter were all sick. Are all sick. We're still sick. Okay, so I'm trying to tell this in a way where it makes sense, and I'm jumping back and forth because I'm trying to explain when I got tested and what it felt like leading up to me getting tested, but it's just too confusing. So, long story short, I got tested on Tuesday. My results came back on Thursday, and I was told that I was positive for COVID. And I wasn't I guess I just was I was thrown off because I wasn't expecting them to tell me that. I was expecting, I don't know what the hell I was expecting, but I really did not think that they were going to tell me that I had COVID. Just because the cough and feeling like I had trouble breathing wasn't the main symptom that was bothersome to me. It was being tired. It was the sore throat. It was just feeling overall like trash. That was the worst for me, or is the worst because I'm still feeling that way. But as far as having that really heavy cough or that dry cough, I didn't really have that except for in the very beginning. So I didn't think it was COVID. I decided what I want to do is I want to set my face with Huda Beauty and then go over top of that with the No. 7 powder. Because there's a lot going on and it needs set. So yeah, if you're somebody that knows me in my personal life, then you'll know that I'm the type of person that's always going. I'm always going. I'm either working, I'm at home working, doing something, dealing with the kids at home, or I'm doing something for YouTube. I'm always doing something. I have a really hard time just sitting still and not doing anything. So it has been very, very difficult to just lay around. Like, I know that's what my body needs, and I've had to do that because I haven't had a choice because of how tired I am, but it has been very, very difficult to force myself to do that. Typically, I don't take a lot of naps, like when I'm feeling okay. I don't take very many naps, even if I have the opportunity to, because I just feel like I'm wasting time. I know that sounds so stupid. Why am I setting my face? I still have to do contour. I can't think straight. So they say brain fog is a symptom of COVID. I 100% believe that. Can't think straight. My thoughts are a little jumbled. I'm all over the place. Okay. So I'm not going to set the face yet because I have the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand that I need to use, which is a cream product. It's going to be a rough video, so buckle up, guys. I didn't do... Oh, that eye's turning really red. I didn't do concealer yet. I didn't do my contour. What the hell am I doing? Okay. Let's take Anastasia Beverly Hills, an hourglass, place that underneath the eyes, and then we'll do the contour. So yeah, let's not do... Actually, as long as I don't touch the eye, I should be okay, right? I just had to do something today because I got tired of feeling like trash and looking like trash. And usually, whenever I feel bad, if I put a little bit of makeup on, it makes me feel a little bit better. I'm sure other people can relate. Like, this is just exhausting, just doing this. This video is going to be a mess. I apologize. I really do. I really shouldn't even be filming. I should be resting. And that's basically what I've been doing. That's all I've been doing for the past week is just resting. And while it's been good for me because my body has needed it, it's also been killing me because I'm not good at just resting. I am the type of person where if I feel like if I'm not being productive, then I'm wasting time. And it drives me crazy. So... like, the first few days when I was out sick, even when, like, I felt like I was dying and my throat was killing me and whatever, I was working from home. I was working on my schedule. I was trying to stay involved in work stuff just because with my line of business, when you're not, you get behind really, really quick if you don't stay up to speed with stuff. So... I was trying to stay involved. I was doing my scheduling. I was working when I should have been resting. So it's been really difficult forcing myself not to. But I knew for me to get better, I needed to take a step back and just relax. Relax, stop thinking about work, recuperate, take it easy. So, since I already powdered my head like an idiot, I'm probably going to just have to use this face palette, the Nudegasm from Charlotte Tilbury. First of all, look how beautiful. This is such a fantastic face palette. I really debated buying this just because it's a little expensive. I've had it for a little over a month, I think. Might have already told you all that, I can't remember. But anyway, it is a really, really lovely face palette. Specifically, the shades that I've been using the most, well, the shade is this one here. It works really well as a bronzer for me. You would think it would be too dark, but it's not. If you go in with a light hand and build it up, it's really beautiful. So I'm kind of wondering if I ought to skip the Hollywood contour wand since I already powdered, or should I take the chance and do it anyway? You know what? We're living on the edge today. Let's just try it and see what happens. I'm going to use the brush that I always use for this, which is the e.l.f. 105. And it's just a stippling brush. Works really well for applying contour. I don't even know what the hell I was talking about now because I stopped for a minute because I'm tired and was scrolling and just relaxing for a minute, so I can't even remember where I left off at. So, again, I really apologize. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea to get on here and film. It's not. It's not a good idea. I just wanted to share my experience with you. I probably should have waited until I felt better. Hindsight, right? Anyway, I'm just going to apply this around the perimeter of my forehead here, and I'm hoping it doesn't jack up the powder that I have laid down. It's not really blending as well as I'd like it to. Probably should have stuck with powder. Too late now. I don't want to, like, give up just because I'm kind of into the thick of it now. Into the thick of it. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Well, thankfully it didn't pull the powder up. That's good to know. In case you ever wondered. Yeah, you can put the Hollywood contour wand over top of powder. Fantastic. My daughter is starting to feel a lot better. She's getting antsy, wants to go back to school and whatnot, but she still has some time left. My son is still recuperating. He probably had the worst cough out of all of us. I know that, you know, COVID affects everybody differently. Thankfully, it wasn't any worse than what it is, because it could have been a lot worse. Now, I mean, we're not totally out of the woods yet, so I guess anything can happen. Actually, I was talking to the nurse when I first found out that I was sick, and she said, you know, let us know if come around day 10 or so you start to feel worse again, or you're breathing, you're struggling to breathe or whatever, it's hard to breathe, let us know, because she's saying that that's what some people are experiencing, that after that 10-day mark, symptoms start taking a turn for the worse. So I'm really hoping that's not the case. I don't feel like that's going to happen, knock on wood, because I do feel like I'm starting to feel better. I was a little bit worried. I just feel like especially the symptom of being overly exhausted and feeling winded, that has been present since day one, and it has not lessened at all. Like, I took the trash out the other night. Night before last, I had to wheel the trash down to the end of my driveway. Or was it last night? It was last night. I had to wheel the trash can down to the end of my driveway, and that's all I did. I didn't even carry anything. I was just dragging a can on wheels. And by the time I got back to the house, I was so winded. Like, I had to stop and catch my breath. It was that bad. So I'm just nervous about going back to work. I go back on Friday. And I'm just nervous because if I got that winded just walking from the end of my driveway and back, I just can't imagine how I'm going to feel after walking around the store all night long. I'm sure it's going to take every ounce of energy I have. So I'm just, you know, I shouldn't worry myself about it. I shouldn't get all worked up about it and think about it, because who knows? By Friday, I might feel 100% better, but that's not been most people's experience because I've looked into it, and typically it takes a little while longer than that to go back to normal. So I'm just a little worried, that's all. But I would just highly recommend anybody watching this, you know, do your part to stay safe. And, you know, it's easy for us to get into the habit of feeling like things are going back to normal because businesses are open and everyone's going back to school and yada, yada, yada. But just remember that it's still very present, and anybody can get sick. I mean, I'm in my late 30s. I have that I know of, like, major underlying health issues. Neither do my kids. So, well, my middle child has asthma, but thankfully he hasn't gotten sick yet. But the other two don't have any major underlying health issues, thank God. So, you know, I'm very grateful for that. But this illness doesn't discriminate. I have a friend of mine who is in his 40s, and he just got out of ICU, and he's very healthy. So it's just scary. It's scary because anybody can catch it and it can affect anybody differently than the next person. I know most of this video isn't going to be making any sense because I've rambled and I've jumped around and I've lost my train of thought, and I have major brain fog. Like, I can't keep my thoughts straight. I keep forgetting what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. I knew the kind of video I wanted to make for you all, but it's not really turning into that. So I don't know that I'll even upload this. If I do, thanks for watching. My kids have been out of school. I've been out of work. I'm just glad that I decided not to go back to work before I got tested. Actually, a friend of mine at work encouraged me to get tested. He was like, no, you need to go get tested. You're not coming back until you do. I'm just grateful that I listened to him and I didn't, because I'm hard-headed sometimes and I wanted to go back to work. And I'm just really glad that I didn't ignore him and ignore how I felt. I'm glad that I got tested, because I would have felt really, really, really bad had I gotten somebody else sick, especially somebody that had, you know, like a weakened immune system or health issues. I want to finish this badly for you all. I don't know if I can. I don't have any energy. Most people say they have like a really bad headache. I've had a mild headache off and on, and it's weird because I've had a fever off and on during this entire period too. So that's, to me, that's a little strange. I don't know what I did. Oh no. Why did I do that? Whatever. I'm too tired to care. It's getting late and I'm getting loopy. And I don't know where to go from here. I just wanted to feel human today. That's all. I just wanted to try to feel better. I don't know if this is doing it for me. The under eyes look horrific. So the ABH and Hourglass duo, not a good duo. At least not for me. Looks terrible underneath my eyes. I'm going to set my face with the Huda Beauty setting powder just lightly. Sorry if I'm like hunched over through half of this video. I'm just like kind of out of it. I'm not really aware of what I'm doing. Have you guys met Leo yet? This is Leo. Hi, honey. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi to the good peoples of Makeup with Michelle. Isn't he handsome? Isn't he too handsome? Hi, honey. We have 2 rotten kikis now. You sweet baby. You sweet baby. What has it been like having... Well, we haven't gotten you tested. You're going to get tested tomorrow, but we're pretty sure that that's what you have. What's it been like? By the way, I'm 6 feet away.
Where's the camera at? Right there?
Yeah. Tell them what it's like to have COVID.
It sucks.
What's been the worst part of it so far for you?
Probably the nose running.
The nose running?
For her, it's been the sore throat. But for me,
tired.
Yeah, I get tired really easily. After like 7 hours of being awake, I already want to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And when it first started for me, it's just been my nose. It's been really like just running all the time. Very congested. I don't know why it's been like that for me, and it affects other people differently. But it's not fun. I haven't coughed as much as I've blown my nose, although I have coughed. If that makes any sense.
You've been coughing a lot more than the rest of us.
Really?
I think so. Well, Savannah's still got a cough, but hers, she said hers doesn't bother her like at all.
Yep. Pretty much.
Been pretty rough.
Pretty rough. That's what it's been like.
You can still taste and smell though, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do either. I can't smell or taste anything.
Really?
I mean, I can a little bit, but not like I should be able to, if that makes sense. Yeah, you were supposed to get he was supposed to get his license. Actually, it would have been today. He was supposed to go take the test, and we couldn't go because we're quarantined.
Yep.
Sucks. Yeah, you went through what, 2 boxes of tissues in 2 days?
In one day.
In one day. It's crazy. we're going to have a video here not too long after everybody's feeling better where he's going to ask me some questions. And about you, right? Questions about you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you already made up the questions? I know you were working on it like a while ago.
I've written some of them down, and then I got sidetracked doing some homework.
Yeah.
But I need to write the last couple of those.
And then what's the deal? Like, if I get them wrong, then you get to do that portion of my makeup? Is that how it's happening?
If you get it wrong, then, yeah, I'll do... Okay, so, for each question, it's going to be corresponding to a certain part of her face. Like, I don't know how specific we'll get it, like, left eyebrow, right eyebrow, or just eyebrows in general. But like, well, you don't really do your eyebrows when you're doing your makeup, do you? Or do you?
Oh yeah.
I don't know anything about makeup, so it's
That's
gonna be a lot
funner. That's why it's gonna be funny.
Yeah, I don't think we really explained any of it right at all. I think they have no idea what we're talking about. But
that's okay.
You'll see. It'll come out. It'll be a good video.
That's right.
But we don't know. All I know is she has COVID and I more than likely have COVID. I'm getting tested tomorrow for it. But that's, I mean, presumably what I have. I mean, I'm around her all the time.
And you're sick as hell, so it only makes sense.
Yeah, and she was sick before I started getting sick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's Savannah tested negative, but I know for a fact that's what she has. There's no way that's not what she has. It doesn't make any sense.
What y'all talking about?
That you're positive with COVID.
No.
You got the Rona.
I don't have the Rona.
She does.
No, I don't.
Well, thank you for making a guest appearance on our show today. By the way, this was Dalton. I don't think I properly introduced him. This is my oldest son. He's 19.
Mom, come on, man.
I don't know why I said you were 19. I meant to say that your birthday's on the 19th. Wow. Anyway, he's going to be 18. His birthday's on the 19th of October.
Yep.
He's going to be an adult. Fully legal.
Next time I see y'all, I'm going to get a haircut. Look a little shaggy right now.
That's okay.
Trust me. It's going to be nice and tidy next time.
Nice and tidy. Okay, now that I have the Huda Beauty powder laid down, I am going to go over my whole face lightly with the number 7 powder. I'm getting tired and it's going to make the rest of this video very difficult to film. I'm going to take just like a sweeping powder brush. So I'm going to take my Sonia G Face Pro. It's funny because I used to use this brush all the time for my powder. And then for whatever reason I stopped and I continued to use my e.l.f. brush, which is like, when you think about the price difference between the two, what I like about the e.l.f. brush is the fact that it's dense up top, and you're able to really pack the powder on. And with this brush, you can only like fluff it on, so it's good for what I'm about to use it for. We're just going to go over top the whole face with this number 7 powder because it's got a little bit of a luminosity to it. I'm definitely over powdered right now, but it is what it is. So yeah, let me know down below if you guys would like to see a video with me and my son. We were going to do just a fun video for you all. I'm excited to do it. I think he's excited about it too. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. He seems like a natural in front of the camera. I don't think my under eyes have ever looked worse. Oh my gosh, I've been having the weirdest dreams too, ever since I got sick. Like just strange dreams. I can't remember anything specifically, but I know like when I wake up, I'm like, what the hell? You ever have dreams like that? Where immediately after you wake up, you just have to sit there for a minute because you're like, what is wrong with me? Like, what am I dreaming?
Hi.
Oh, God, you scared me.
No, I was here.
Stop.
I literally walked in and sat here like this.
I didn't hear you. What are you chewing on?
A bottle cap.
Get that out of your mouth.
No.
Child. You want to share with the good people what your COVID experience... Whoa, back up. You got to keep your distance, man. 6 feet.
Okay, don't yell at me.
You want to trade me spots?
How am I going to do that?
You're going to sit here. I'm going to stand over there.
We're not going to give when we trade spots.
Ready?
What?
Ready? Run. No.
I'm come over here. Go.
I'm coming out there. Just run this way. If you do it real quick. Come on now. Go. Okay. Take a seat. I already had Dalton.
Today's... Oh, I'm kind of short.
We're going to make it short and sweet. Just let him know what your experience has been with COVID.
I don't have COVID.
She tested negative on last Sunday, and then I tested positive Tuesday. Got my results Thursday.
My hair looks really, cool.
But I think she tested too early. I think if she would have tested several days later, it would have been positive, because she was sick just right along with the rest of us. What was your experience?
How do I say my experience?
Well, she doesn't think she had COVID, but tell them what your symptoms were.
So I had a really bad cough, a really bad sore throat, and had a really, stuffy nose.
Okay. At any point did you lose your sense of taste or smell?
Yeah, but it was because of my clogged nose.
How long did that last?
For 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
I can taste now, though, and smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're quarantined, too. Can't go back to school yet.
So what you got going on here? Oh, I'm not supposed to be touching your stuff, because... COVID.
Before we jump off camera and get into the eyebrows and the eyeshadow, I wanted to go ahead and use the Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm face palette. Just show you one more time how beautiful she is. This is actually the only face palette from Charlotte Tilbury that I own, and I'm in love with it. I think it is so beautiful. So I am going to use... Oh my gosh, look how red this eye is getting. I'm telling you. I'm going to take a little bit of this shade here. This is the contour shade, just to kind of deepen up my contour just a tad. And then I'm going to go over top the bronzer with this bronzer shade. Yeah, I've already run out of stuff to talk about because, I mean, really, like I said before, I just wanted to hop on here and go over my experience with you all. You all got to hear from my son and my daughter and me. And it's been a hell of a week for all of us. But it could have been a lot worse. So we're all just trying to recuperate and feel normal, which is taking some time. I love this bronzer shade. There's this slight ruddiness about it that I just love. Can't help it. When I want to feel human and I want to feel a little put together, snatched, if you will, this is the kind of stuff I reach for. Cheekbones for days, y'all. Look at that. I know it's overboard. I don't even care. I'm going to go ahead and take that Magic Hour Heavens Glow blush from M Cosmetics. And whoa, it's very powdery. Oh, it's got this pink sheen to it. I didn't realize it had. That's beautiful. Oh, wow. I know it's way overboard, but holy Moses. How did I not notice that before? With the pink glow. Oh my gosh. That just made me love this blush like 100 times more. Holy cow. That just bumped this up to probably one of my favorite blushes of all time. I'm going to add just a little bit. I know. Dior. This shade right down here is Metallic Golden Peach or Golden Peach. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. Oh, I brought this out too. I can't use the Laura Mercier. Like, what am I going to do with that now? The only thing I have left to do, well, the only thing, I have lips, eyes, and the brows. Let me hop off here and do my brows real quick. I don't know what to do because this eye is really not in good shape right now, as you can see. So, I know I shouldn't put anything on it, but I'm probably going to because, you know, it's me. Be right back. Okay, I'm going to put down a little bit of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Base, and then we're going to go into the Vanity Makeup, the Signature Palette. And I don't know if I showed you all the inside or not. Like, it's just such a basic palette, but it's beautiful. The shadows are very high quality, in my opinion. They blend beautifully. I've played with it a couple times now, and I absolutely love this palette. It's so nice. I was a little skeptical that I wasn't going to be that happy with it given the price tag, but I'm pretty thrilled with it. I think I'm just going to do a couple of shades from this palette, just something really simple. I think I want to take this camel color right here, and I'm just going to buff that into my transition area, use that as a transition shade. And I'm going to do that with my Sonia G Classic Crease Brush. Fantastic blending brush. These are really pigmented shadows, so you just kind of have to go in there a little bit light-handed. I definitely feel a little bit more put together. I mean, I would hope so. Took me long enough. It's really odd for me not to do makeup for an entire week, because I do makeup literally every day before I go to work. So it's been very strange not doing makeup at all week long. This feels good. I miss it. It's been a very rough week. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I meant to tell you all that I forgot to say. I know that this video is all over the place, which I've said a million times already. The brain fog is real. It's hard for me to concentrate. And I keep forgetting what I'm talking about, what I want to talk about. I just wanted to give you all my experience of what it's been like having COVID. These shadows just blend so nicely. It's just effortless. I'm just slowly building it up. I think if I were to give any advice about the whole situation, it would be, if you start feeling any way out of the norm, really, really tired, if you have a sore throat, your nose is running unusually, don't just brush it off. I'm not saying you should freak out or anything, but definitely keep an eye on it, just because, you know, like I said earlier, I was really, really exhausted, and that was the first sign for me. And I just brushed it off and thought that it was strep, you know, especially with the sore throat. I didn't think much of it. And, you know, I thought because my daughter tested negative that I was going to be negative. I thought it was no big deal. Was kind of using her test result as a way to diagnose my own, which was stupid. We should have just both gotten tested the same day, and that would have totally discredited that idea, but that's not what we did, so that was my stupidity. I kept thinking she got me sick because she had symptoms before I did, but I think it was the other way around. I just didn't show, you know, with the symptoms as early as she did. If you end up getting sick with COVID, get rest, lots and lots and lots of rest. Sleep whenever your body feels like it needs to sleep. I know I've done more sleeping over the past week than I've probably done in the last month before it started. Seriously. I don't ever get sleep like that. I don't usually take naps. I don't usually sleep longer than about 6 hours a night. And I've been sleeping about 12. And napping. So, listen to your body. Nap if you need to nap. Drink a lot of water. I don't know, it sucks. I think what I want to do is dip into this deeper brown shade, but I'm actually going to tap back and forth between the camel shade and this deeper brown, because I really don't want it to be too deep. And you can see this deeper brown has this orangey type of undertone, like a really strong orange undertone. And I don't want this to be too warm. Do I even want to do that? Well, you know what? Let me pack this lighter camel shade on the outside edge first, and we'll go from there. Because I really want to keep this light. There's such pretty shades in here. Look how beautiful that is. Like, we could do that. And then there's this really beautiful, like, satin white shade. Oh, it's so pretty. Or I could take this satin here And pack that on the outer edge. Oh, that would be pretty. Do a little bit of all three. You know I need to because I'm extra as shit. Let's do that. We're going to pack this shade right here on the outer edge, outer corner of the eye. This is just such a good palette. Okay, now I'm going to take the shade right next to that, which is a really beautiful, like, sparkly shade, and we're going to use that in the middle portion of the lid. Let's tap this here. Okay, now let's take that really gorgeous satin white. Oh, I love it. There's just so much versatility in this palette, and you wouldn't really think so by just first glance. But there is. I am in love with this palette, I really am. This is probably one of my favorite palettes so far this year. And I know it sounds crazy because it's so basic, but it's not. It's not basic. It's very versatile. You can do smoky, you can do something really light, but glam and just, I'm not going to bother with under eye work right now just because my eye's really irritated. And we're going to wrap this video up. Okay, so this is the finished look after I added lips and some mascara. So I'll go over really quickly the last little touches that I did. I used the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea lipstick. This one is in the shade Rum Punch. It's one of my favorite nude shades. Haven't used it in quite a while, and I think it looks really good with this eye look. I lined my lips with the ColourPop Lippie Pencil in the shade BFF, and it's like the exact shade match to Rum Punch. It's perfect. You know what? I didn't do an inner corner highlight. You know what? I'm not fooling with it. I did this video because I wanted to feel alive and just put together since it's been over a week since I put makeup on my face, and I think I've accomplished that, so I'm going to forego the inner corner highlight for today. For the lashes, I used the They're Real mascara from Benefit. It's a little sample size. I threw it away when I got done because, yes, I don't want to transfer conjunctivitis to my eyeballs the next time I use this. Other than that, you guys saw me apply everything else, I believe. The eyebrows, again, I have a full tutorial of my brows if you're interested in seeing that. It's on my channel. Go check it out. This is the look. Yeah, I really needed this. It's been a really rough week. Still feeling really rough, but hell, with all this on, it almost looks like I'm doing all right. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening to me ramble. I know this video was all over the place. Not sure how much sense I made. Probably not a whole lot. Just be careful out there. You know, there's a lot of talk about like after effects with COVID and the effects that it has on your body weeks and months after the fact. So I'm a little bit concerned with that. I don't know if it's going to affect me that way or if it does and in what way. It's hard to say. Only time will tell. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel and you liked this video, or if you've been checking out other videos of mine and you happen to like those, please tap that subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around. Ring that notification bell if you do so you don't miss future uploads, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.